How you doing, YouTube? Matt, Massive Beer Reviews, back to yet another review. A little bit of semi-ish, homegrown, hopeful collab of goodness in the form of Snitz Creek Brewing and Abomination Brewing. It is, they're Foraging with Friends. It is a milkshake kettle sour. Yeah, Snitz Creek never had anything from them. Abomination, I know, they're kind of semi-local, like home brewer trying to open a commercial endeavor, and they collabed and they did this. So let's dive into it. As far as what it says on here, it says Foraging with Friends Milkshake Kettle Sour, brewed with milk sugar, local honey, and local foraged raspberries and blackberries by Snitz Creek and Abomination. Done and done. No ABV on here. I can see I have no date, but it's fresh. So I assume, they're going for the whole kind of like a lactose Berliner thing going, and label-wise it's all right. You know what I mean? Kind of like Abomination Brewing-esque kind of labeling with a little bit of Dr. Zeus going on. So yeah, let's see what she's got. Ooh, I can smell those berries from here. Now, first thing first, when you talk about these kind of lactose beers, these milkshake beers, I should say, more so, first thing that comes to mind when you think about these beers is just this rich milkshake kind of vibe to them. This, not so much. I mean, it pretty much has kind of a relatively clear look to it, but it just has a little bit of subtle kind of haze, almost like a little bit of, like, you imagine a little bit of bits and pieces of fruit kind of floating in there, kind of haze, not chunks and stuff, you know what I mean? It's kind of mixed up, watered down iced tea vibe, if you will, with a just kind of pinkish hue kind of head, just barely pink, pinky finger, neither rocky nor fluffy, pretty uniform bubbles throughout. So does she look like a kettle sour? Sure. Does she look like a lactose kettle sour, milkshake kettle sour? Lactose, yes. Milkshake, no. You just assume there's just going to be that rich kind of milkshake look to it that you get with a lot of these hazy IPAs. Let's get a nose on her. Yeah, I mean, it's just hitting you in the face with a nice kind of, it's not necessarily vanilla, it's because it's kind of that like soft, sweet lactose more than anything else, and then that big, huge burst of like berries. You want to call them blackberries, you want to call them blueberries, you want to call them raspberries. Sure, there's berries across the board, but they come off very natural, very organic. It doesn't come off synthetic. It's almost like you're getting all the bits and pieces of the berries in there. You're getting the actual flesh, you're getting a little bit of stemminess, you're getting a little bit of that seediness in there, so you're getting all the portions of the show. Not necessarily jammy, but in that vein, kind of like fresh, crushed up. If you're trying to crush up berries to make jam, but you didn't add any sugar or anything like that to it, and that's a positive thing. Yeah. Not overly tart. Kettle sour wise, even at that level, it's not that tart, but it has that soft sweetness that might be kind of pushing down that kind of tartness that you typically get from a kettle sour, which isn't your biggest sour in the history of mankind anyway. So yeah, you're getting a bit of sweetness, you're getting that berryness, and not a huge bit of tartness, sourness, but it's kind of floating in there. So let's dive in, see what she's got. Cheers. That's pretty refreshing, to be perfectly honest with you. Berries are the star of the show here. You're getting a nice big pop from those blackberries and those raspberries, just giving you berry vibes all around. You get a little bit of that sweet from that lactose. There's not a ton of lactose in there, but enough in there to kind of balance out. I believe some of the acidity and some of that kind of acid that you would get from a lot of those berries. So it kind of, rather than being a big kind of addition of sweetness and like milkshakeness, it kind of just helps temper some of that acidity in there, makes it a little bit more drinkable, especially from the berry side of things. The kettle sour portion of the show is still a little bit hard to find. I don't think it has a lot to do with the lactose itself. I feel like it's just a very mild kind of kettle sour at its soul, but it's nice, it's tasty. The berries really shine, which honestly to me I really wanted, but it's still a beer, so that's nice. It's not all these bits and pieces in a pseudo beer. You're still getting that kind of base kind of beer vibe. It's almost like, outside of being a kettle sour, it's almost like just a base kind of ale with a big heavy fruit puree to it, as opposed to a kettle sour. Like, I feel like a lot of that acidity and tartness is coming from the fruit as opposed to the beer itself. But all in all, it's still a nice, tasty, chuggable beer. I'd really like to know what the ABV is on it, but I like it. It's tasty, it's fun, it's nice. Is it a milkshake beer? No. No, it's not a milkshake beer. From what people think of when they think of milkshake beers nowadays, it's not that. Does that mean it's a bad beer? No, but if you're looking at this to give you kind of milkshake vibes, you could easily say lactose. And it just kind of closes down expectations and gives you, okay, there's a lactose addition to a Kettle Sour. When you read kind of milkshake on a beer, you're expecting a kind of milkshake kind of vibe to it. Not really getting that here. It definitely falls short of that. It's more like berries with a little dollop of whipped cream on it, just a little bit that'll cut all that acidity as opposed to an actual milkshake. Again, not a negative on the beer, other than when you see milkshake, you kind of assume something. You're not going to get that here, but we're going to get this nice, tasty, fruit-forward beer that's going to give you a nice kind of chuggability, and while not overly sweet enough to kind of bounce off that acidity and make it kind of super fun and tasty. I just dig how the berries come off. Let's put it that way. Let's talk about it. It's one of the better Kettle Sours, Berliners, whatever you want to call it, that I've had as of late. Actually, it is pretty damn tasty. It's definitely worthy of being in the conversation. Maybe not up there in #1 slot, but it's tasty stuff. Value and availability. I forget how much I paid. I bought a single can of it. I think it was $5, so it was a little bit probably over market value. I assume they're not charging $20 for a 4-pack of this, but it's brewery only kind of stuff. Drips and drabs of distribution on this, I believe, but down along the Lehigh Valley and stuff like that of Pennsylvania. And leave you with, if you like what we like this, if you like your fruit forward beers, if you like Berliners and you like them to be a bit fruit heavy, but you want it to come off a little bit not as punchy with that addition of that lactose, it just kind of adds to that kind of balance and kind of rings a little of the sharp edges and makes it a bit more rounded. If that's what you dig, then you'll dig this. So there you go, another review in the books. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Down there if you want to talk about it, Massive Beers. If you want to check me out doing the social media stuff, Beer Massive. If you want to check me out doing the whole podcasting stuff. And hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Hopefully enjoying the nice little foraging with friends right now. And hopefully see you next time. Cheers.